Morning routines have gotten a bad rap.
It's those morning routine videos from rich people.
Drinking cum powder? Oh!
Am I right?
YouTube and social media is chock full of gurus peddling their morning routines. These guys tell you that if you wake up at 4 a.m. and say your daily affirmations into a mirror for 2 hours, you'll be levitating while watching your Bitcoin wallet hit 6 figures by noon. The stuff these guys tell you to do is either prohibitively expensive or downright insane, to the point where many people have written off the idea of a morning routine entirely, and I was one of them. However, after lots of research, including reading the amazing book Atomic Habits, I've realized just how powerful a good morning routine can be. By writing it off as some dumb meme, I was denying myself these benefits. So I'm making you the video I wish I had watched 5 years ago. A video with morning routine advice that's actually realistic, along with some science-backed tips on how to make your routine stick. Let me get right to the key point. Morning routines are so important because of this. It's a diagram from page 161 of Atomic Habits. In this section, James Clear talks about decisive moments. There are certain times throughout the day when you sit at a crossroads. When I get home from work, do I pick up my phone or pick up a book? When I have a little time after lunch, do I watch YouTube or go on a walk? These tiny decisions we make in these moments can have a huge impact on the rest of our day, and most of the time we don't even realize this. It only takes me 5 seconds to decide if I'm grabbing my phone or a book after work, but cut to 2 hours later, that small decision has led to me either finishing a book I've been meaning to read or spending 2 hours on my phone falling into a social media rabbit hole. Let's look at this diagram again. Notice how the choices at the beginning of the graph have a huge effect on where we end up at the end. Just by doing a few things right early on, we can guarantee we'll have a pretty good day. But if we start off on the wrong foot, it becomes a lot harder for us to recover. This is the core of why a morning routine is so important. If you do a few key things for your mind and body in the morning, you're setting yourself up to have a great day. At first, doing these positive habits takes a bit of effort, but once you find your routine and do it enough times, it becomes habitual, meaning you'll do these things almost automatically. That combination of a few decisive actions, which eventually become automatic, is why a good morning routine can be a huge asset in your life and can help you get what you want out of each and every day. So, you're on board, now let's start crafting your new routine. This is a deeply personal process, but in general, I'd say a good morning routine does something good for your body and for your mind. Ideally, the combination of these two help you brush off your morning grogginess so that you feel alert and ready to start your day. So let's talk through a few of my favorite options. One of the classics, and one you probably saw coming, is meditation. I'm going to keep this extremely brief because I just posted a video about how and why you should meditate. But to sum it up, meditation offers you the chance to clear the clutter from your mind at the beginning of the day and set aside a moment for yourself and your sanity before you jump into whatever the day has to offer. All of that is really the minimum meditation offers you. If you stick with it, you'll find it has a much more systemic and transformative effect on your entire life. If you'd like to know more, I'll put a link to the video I made down in the description so you can watch it afterwards. Getting your body moving is a great way to shake off that grogginess in the morning. Physical activity is really magical because it's one of the few things that every doctor on earth will tell you is beneficial for your health. Now, keep in mind, I'm not talking about running a 5K here. The most basic level of this is just going on a walk outside for 10 minutes. In fact, I think you'll be surprised by how much of an effect such a low-effort activity can have on you. There's research that suggests the combination of forward movement and optic flow, things going past you as you walk, can have a powerful effect in the morning, combined with the fact that when you're outside, you're getting sunlight exposure, which also helps wake you up. Obviously, you can take this as far as you want. Maybe you're very athletic and you prefer a morning jog or a run. But if that's not the case, I'd encourage you to start with the humble 10-minute morning walk, and you may be surprised by the benefits. Another key part of your morning routine is what you're having for breakfast. You know your body and your diet best, but in general, I'd recommend something that's low in carbs and high in protein. Protein is a great source of energy for your body and can keep you feeling satisfied all the way until lunch. Now, on the other hand, there's carbs, which your body will break down quickly, leading to an increase in blood sugar and insulin levels, which will make you feel tired. When I was a kid, my mom would buy these big Costco boxes of sugary cereal. I'd have 2 bowls of cereal before I went to school, and by 10 a.m., I'd feel like folding over and taking a nap in the middle of class. It seems Americans in particular get the concept of breakfast and dessert mixed up a lot, as a lot of our traditional breakfast foods are loaded with sugar and carbs. So for me, this low-carb, high-protein breakfast looks like some non-fat yogurt with a little granola, maybe a couple berries on top. Eggs are another great protein source if you're into that. Okay, so far we've covered the morning routine basics: meditation, exercise, diet. Now let's get into some fun stuff. When it comes to morning routines, the more effort you put in, the more you get out of it. Nowhere is that more apparent than when we start talking about cold plunges. I know that getting into cold water first thing in the morning sounds like the least appealing thing ever, but there is no better way to wake yourself up and get your adrenaline pumping. For me, this is way better than coffee. Cold plunges have tons of health benefits for your body, but honestly, I think the most powerful benefits are for your mind. One of the key challenges all of us face in life is doing things that we know will be good for us long term, but we don't want to do as we're doing them. We all know that going to the gym will make us fitter and healthier, but that burning sensation in your muscles is brutal when you're in the moment. You feel awesome when you get an A in class, but the countless hours of studying and grinding to get that A feel not so awesome. If you've ever done a cold plunge, you know that right afterwards you feel amazing, like you can accomplish anything. But nobody has a smile on their face as they're getting into a cold plunge. At least I've never seen it. The cold plunge is the classic example of sucks in the moment but will feel amazing once I'm done. If you can get in the habit of overcoming your fear and conquering the cold plunge every morning, the other challenges you face throughout the day will feel trivial in comparison. And as you keep doing it, you build the habit of listening to the part of you that wants to put in the work for long-term success, rather than the part of you that wants to be lazy and stay in your bed on your phone. Neuroscientists like Andrew Huberman call this top-down control, or having control over your limbic system. Even after all of this, I bet most of you still think I'm crazy, which is fine. If you'd like to see there's any truth to what I'm saying, getting started with the cold plunge is dead simple. All you need is some ice from the grocery store and a bathtub. You can start with 60 seconds in the tub as a goal. If it's your very first time, having a friend who's willing to try it with you will make the whole thing a bit more fun and will increase the chance you'll actually get in the tub. Once you get tired of lugging ice from the grocery store, you can get a water chiller. I've got mine on a timer, so it turns on a few hours before I wake up. That way my cold plunge is ready to go right as I get out of bed, so I can hop in, no ice required. One last thing in this fun and weird morning routine category that I've been trying lately is red light therapy. Now I know these things look like something you'd find in a Sky Mall magazine, but if you get the right kind of panel, you'll find that it's the real deal. Red light therapy is even more well-researched than cold water therapy, and it's used in doctors' offices worldwide for treating localized pain and ophthalmological issues. It can help reduce inflammation, wrinkles, psoriasis, myopia, the list goes on. Remember when I said going on a walk outside can help you wake up due to the bright sunlight? I'd still recommend that, but I found my red light panels to be a decent substitute, as they're incredibly bright and help me feel awake and alert in the morning. Just please don't look directly into them. Okay, so a quick note on these last two. Unfortunately, I've seen that emerging fields like cold plunges and red light therapy are filled with people who sell these products at an outrageous markup. Personally, there's nothing I hate more than the feeling of getting ripped off, so when I bought my own equipment, I worked directly with manufacturers to get this stuff at an actually reasonable price and save, frankly, thousands compared to buying it somewhere else. A bunch of my friends asked me about getting a similar deal for them, so I put together a website for buying this stuff that you can find in the description below if you're interested. Anyway, all of these ideas that I've outlined, meditation, exercise, diet, cold plunge, red light therapy, are obviously far from the only options available to you. Rather, they're just meant to get you thinking about what might work best for you. I'd encourage you to try a few of these out in the morning and see which ones you like. In fact, let's talk briefly about that process before we wrap up. Okay, I'm including this last section because I feel like if I don't give you science-based advice on how to make these new habits stick, the rest of this video is a little pointless. The most crucial thing when starting any new habit, morning routine included, is to be realistic and to know yourself. When it comes to new habits, we're all guilty of biting off a bit more than we can chew. Maybe you're the kind of person that struggles to get out of bed. After a week straight of staying in bed until 10 a.m. and getting fed up with yourself, you tell yourself you're going to wake up at 6 and go on a run every morning. The excitement of starting something new may motivate you to do it the first couple of days, but going directly from struggling to get out of bed to running a mile or so at 6 a.m. isn't realistic for most people. That's not to say it's impossible, but you increase your chances of success long term by knowing yourself and using that knowledge to make gradual steps in the right direction. Maybe you set your alarm 30 minutes earlier every week. Maybe you go for a 1-minute run, then a 5-minute run, then keep building from there. Science also tells us that picking up too many habits at once can lead to none of them sticking. So when it comes to your morning routine, instead of starting to meditate, cold plunge, and eat better all at once, perhaps you tried slowly incorporating each of these into your mornings. Building your habits up bit by bit isn't as exciting as going for it all at once, but as best demonstrated by the Toyota Prius, sometimes the unsexy option is the most practical long term. Anyway, after all that, I hope I've convinced you that morning routines are more than just a meme. They're a super powerful tool we can use to get ourselves on the right path as we start our day. There's a lot more wisdom about morning routines and habits in general in this book, Atomic Habits. If you want a copy, I'll leave a link down below. Thank you so much for watching. This channel is still brand new and could really use your help getting off the ground. So if you'd like to subscribe or share this video with a friend, it would be greatly appreciated. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week as we explore another topic together.